Hello. How you doing? What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's time to start a brand new streaming week here on DSPGaming, an exciting one. This week is a 7-day streaming marathon. I'm not stopping streaming for 7 straight days. I'm just kidding. I am here for 7 days. New games, continuing playthroughs, chill vibes, Lego builds completing, lots more Street Fighter, a chance return to Call of Duty, a new game starting up later in the week, and a awesome gaming marathon to end it all on Friday. So we've got a lot coming up, and we will talk about all about this on today's show. It's going to be very exciting, okay? Plus, we've jump-started a little bit ahead of time. We've got new animations, new sound effects, and as you can see, a refreshed backdrop for the month of February, but we started a day early. Pretty cool. And today, we've got an update on everyone's favorite new game, Highguard. Aren't you excited? I know I am. Anyway, I'm excited to get this week going. I'm excited to get the month started. It's going to be a great one, and this is the very first podcast of that effort, so I hope that you're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to start, don't you? Sit back and relax because, folks, it's time for the Level 1 Podcast. What is going on, everyone? Good morning and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast for Saturday, January 31st, 2026. The end of a month. A month that was. Oh, yes, the month was. And it was a good one, wasn't it? If you think about it, it was a great start to the year, in my opinion. We had a good variety of content showing off the fact that this year I'm going to be doing things differently. I'm going to be trying a heck of a lot more games. I'm going to have a heck of a lot more toys to play with when I play said games. The visual quality was better. We did some improved versions of previous things, such as Lego builds with music and a better camera angle and lighting. Just in general, I feel like January was a good taste of things to come. Because to be honest with you, although it was an amazing month of streams, there really wasn't much going on in the realm of gaming when it comes to high-profile or big releases. It was more us hanging out and enjoying each other's company, but nothing truly notable happened in the realm of gaming. However, that's all going to change shortly. February has multiple interesting releases, all ending with Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So February should be a pretty darn interesting month. We've got the Super Bowl coming up, and my local team is in it. So we got a marathon that's going to have some Super Bowl-themed fun. We've got tons of different kinds of games that will be played this month, both new and old, and I'm just excited to chill with all of you for this coming, 28, 29 days. It's not leap year, is it? No, I don't think so. So because of that, it's going to be a good one, all right? So, first off, how's everyone doing? I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you had a good couple of days away from me and my content. As you can see, I was busy. All right, I got stuff adjusted and updated and set up for the new month. Shall I walk you through some of the changes that we have? So first off, right off the bat, things were moved and are a little different. The desk isn't even where it was. The desk I moved over about 6 inches to the left, which allowed me to now have more room going in and out of the studio. Previously, the door wouldn't even open all the way because this desk was so close to the door. So I was having problems moving things in and out. And notably, there is a rack here, storage rack, that was always in the room across the hallway in the closet. but we're cleaning that room out. We're going to try to repurpose it for something. So I said, I want to get that rack in here because we're going to, at some point this year, redo this closet again. We're going to do the closet clean out, and I'd like to use that rack in here for storage to actually put all my stuff on. So the only way to do that was to be able to open the door. So I basically had to reposition everything. So this desk now is as far to the left as it can possibly go. It's now actually about touching the wall over there, which is fine. But of course, this meant everything was thrown off. All of my camera angles and everything were wrong. So I had to come back in here and reposition everything. I'm actually a little bit further to the right of the desk than I used to be. So like my mouse and keyboard here are a little bit differently positioned, and I kind of have to get used to that, which is fine. It's like it's not out of reach or anything, but it's a little bit further away. And my chair too, I had to like position it a little bit differently. The camera had to be moved. The lighting had to be moved. I think it looks a little cleaner now. The angle is a little bit more straight onto the wall than it was. So I think that it's fine. Now, as for things that have been refreshed and updated, okay, first off, my hair. We all are noticing that people are already mentioning it in the chat. Yes, I got a haircut. I needed to, okay? But outside of my hair, I changed the color of the back wall here. Instead of it being blue, which I thought would be appropriate for like the Christmas month and for January to represent winter, I changed it back to the black tiles. Now, I'm debating whether or not I should buy another set of white tiles and make the entire wall white. I could do that, but they cost $100 because they're out of print. Like, they don't make these wall tiles anymore. So I'd have to spend a lot of money to get them. I might do it anyway because I think having a wall entirely white would definitely make it pop for my background lighting. I do like the fact that right now it's a kind of a little different color, but I might do that. I might eventually go all white in the background and then, swap it out every once in a while. We'll see. Okay, I'm thinking about it. So that I changed out. Now, as you can see, I changed out stuff for this coming month. What I did is I pushed the Divoom Pixu frame further over, and I refreshed all of the animations. You're going to see all new animations this month. This is for the podcasting, but we also have one for just gaming in general, and then we have one for basically like kind of just in general the month. So I have like retro gaming in there, and I have things that are for like the Super Bowl and Valentine's Day and stuff like that. So you'll see that I alternated out all the animations. We've also got the Pac-Man sign back out, and unfinished but still looking pretty darn good right here, we've got the Yoshi Lego set that we've been building. So just to show you, this is as far as we've gotten so far. Yes, he moves, and his mouth opens. And his tongue comes out. Pretty neat. Pretty cool Lego set, isn't it? So, it's not done yet. We still have another piece to finish. That's Mario. He's going to be sitting right there and riding Yoshi. So when it's done, it's actually going to be like this tall. So it's going to be a huge piece of my backdrop for the month. But we didn't finish yet. This is as far as we've gotten with Mario, okay? So tonight, on my late stream, it's a dual stream. The first half of the stream is finish the Lego build of the Super Mario World, okay? And then when we finish that, we're just going to chill for the second half of the stream. So it's kind of like a chill with Phil Lego build hybrid tonight on my late stream. If you're interested to see me finish the backdrop, and then that will be in the back for the whole month, which will be really, really cool, okay? Nice. Get that back on there, shall we? Okay. So, that's what we've got going on that side. And then on this side, well, not much going on. Why? Because this is all my equipment. This is my headphone stand and wireless phone charger. It also holds my controller. And this is all my keyboard, mouse, and equipment for my gaming half of the setup here. So can't really do much with this. Like, the most I think I could ever do with this side would be to put like something right here, just off camera slightly. But I don't know what I would do. And right now, I actually kind of like having that open. You can see the lighting better as a result. So I probably for now will leave it open. Maybe we'll come up with some ideas of things to put there in the future. All right, we'll see. But I like how this looks like right now, right? So, hope that you like the refreshed backdrop for the month. Now, I refreshed some of the animations, not all of them, because I already had some more generic animations for gaming and stuff that I've been using that I think are working well. But here's what I refreshed. First off, if you gift any subs on Kick, there's a new animation for that for this month. Okay? If you either do a super chat, well, it's a super chat that would be lower than 420 because the 420 has the special animation, and then lower than $5. So if you do any super chat, you know, up to 420 and then over between 420 and $5, there are new animations that will randomly play. I think I have 2 football/Super Bowl related animations and 1 Valentine's Day animation that will play as well randomly. So any small contribution, random animation for that, okay? So no more winter and no more fireworks going off. Those have been phased out for now. They'll probably come back next year, okay? Now, what category? Abdullah says, what category of music are you playing today? He likes this song. It's exciting. And this one is called Electronic Drums Medium Active Dance, categorized as electronic pop and electro EDM. Very, very good stuff. It was funny because you're the second person who specifically asked me. He said, oh, I really like this song. What's its name? You'll never find it. It's AI-generated music. It's not like you're going to be able to look this up and get it yourself, but I'm sure you can find something similar. Okay, so continuing on. In regards to animations, there is now a brand new animation for any contribution of $10. You guys said that you didn't like the Pikachu animation I was using last month. You were very annoyed by it. So I said, all right, we'll change it out. So there's a very romantic animation for a $10 contribution this month, whether it's a $10 tip, a $10 super chat, or 1,000 kicks. Any of those 3 contributions, you will get a very romantic and appropriate animation for the month of February, okay? Now, I left everything else the same except for the $100 animation. All right, that one I updated because previously it was a bunch of fireworks playing Auld Lang Syne. So we have a special one for the month of February as well for the $100 contribution, whether that would be a super chat, whether that would be, I don't know, what would that be, 10,000 kicks or a $100 tip. All of those have been updated. Will you see them? Probably not. I mean, to be honest, I think in the month of January, we only saw the $100 animation like twice. So very rare when we actually get to see a contribution of that level to see what the animation is. All right. But yeah, we will have new animations for several different categories. Everything else will be the same, like the $5, the $20, the $50. All those are the same. But I wanted to do some refreshed stuff, and I think what I'm going to do moving forward is every month I'll try to integrate something appropriate and new. Like maybe next month we'll have like St. Patrick's Day, and then for April we'll have my birthday and or spring. You know what I mean? Like every month try to get something in there that's appropriate to that time period of the year. I think that would work. Maybe some Easter bunny hopping around or something. That'd be cute, right? So anyway, good stuff there. As soon as people start contributing, we'll start to see some of these animations. So, I mean, if you want to see them, I'm just saying you could support the stream in some way. That'd be nice if you could support my streams. Cool. Thank you in advance. That would be very nice of you. Okay? So, backdrop updated and animations updated and set moved to the side to be more straight to the wall and giving me more room to go in and out of the studio. So, all those things were kind of tweaked during my days off. All right? So, notably, what did I do on my days off? I'd like to tell you. But in the meantime, let's say what's up to everyone. How's everyone doing today? Let's see what's going on. So who do we have here today? We have Wa Diumu. How you doing? D-Man, good morning. What's up? Rob the Unbelievable, welcome. Jacoby Mayers, what's up? Norwood Scale Gaming, how are you? What else we got? Chris is here this morning. Grandmaster Scrub is here this morning. Copium is here. What's up, Copium? Who else do we got? Murky Rodney, how are you? Not your everyday streamer, good morning. We got Snake Sauce, Anti-Consumer Practices, Lucy Poxy, Spoon Sot, is that the name? Godly Santa, Real Life Loser. Sewer Rat is here. How you doing? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat says, why do you never get a shout out? I have no idea. I'm giving you a shout out right now. Good morning. Username already taken. RGB Lover. Bizarre pronunciation. There you go. What's up, everybody? How you all doing? Abdullah with our first contribution of the week. Thank you, Abdullah. He says they added a 5x5 mode to Highguard, but it's pretty chaotic. So that's one of the things I'm going to talk about this morning. All right, it is a follow-up story that I have from last week when I played Highguard and I gave my opinions on it. I want to let everyone know what's going on with that game for all 2 of you that are probably interested out there, and I guess Abdullah's one of them. So thank you, Abdullah, for the first contribution. That's the equivalent of $6.81. Thank you so much. Not one of the new categories of contribution to see the animation, but thank you there. Mozzie, thank you for a $2 super sticker. I appreciate that, but sadly, super stickers don't get animations. For some bizarre reason, super stickers never show up in any contributions queue. I just have to catch them when they happen. So thank you to Mozzie for $2 there. It would have had to be a $2 super chat to see the new animation, not a $2 super sticker. But I like that animation of a anthropomorphic, spinning, living controller that says, good luck, have fun. Thank you for that. Okay, good stuff. Thank you for the early support. So I hope you're all doing well. You're ready to chill with me here. Here's the agenda for today so you guys know what's going on. We got a full level 1 podcast. All right, I'm going to tell you about my days off. I'm going to tell you about this week because this week is an exciting week with so much gameplay and content and fun. And, of course, new games coming out this week and then a marathon at the end of the week. We got DSP Tries It on Monday, and we haven't even figured out what that is yet. So we have a lot to talk about, okay? We're going to do that first. And then, after this podcast, we're going to jump back into Hollow Knight. Now, to be honest with you, I'm curious. Is Hollow Knight going to work as a playthrough? Here's why I say that, okay? When I was going to play Silksong back in the fall, I was very skeptical, reason being, Metroidvanias don't typically work around here. I've tried them many times, and usually they don't work as playthroughs. People will not show up, engage, and support Metroidvanias. They end up saying that they're too boring, okay? I think Silksong was the exception because it was the hot new title at the time. It was one of the biggest releases of the year. People had anticipated that game for so many years. I had never played Hollow Knight, so for me, it was a first-time experience. It was very difficult, so to see me overcome those challenges, I think people particularly really enjoyed that. And then people asked me, would I play the original Hollow Knight? And I said, yes, I will, as long as people show up for it. But I'm not, 100% sure that's going to work. Because number one, I did just play Silksong in the fall. And number two, this is an older game. This one came out in 2017. I played the more recent one first, and now I'm going back to the old one. That'd be like, playing Dark Souls 3 first and then going back to play Dark Souls 1, right? So does anyone care? Well, the good news is we did one stream of it, and it did actually work well, but that stream got a ton of support before we started playing the game. Like, no exaggeration, that stream got like over $100 of support during the podcast that day. So a lot of the support came in early. Not to say that the support wasn't in tandem with Hollow Knight, but you know what I'm saying? Like today, if we don't get a ridiculous amount of support on this podcast and then we start Hollow Knight, will Hollow Knight do well? I don't know. The thing is, I like Hollow Knight, and I would like to do a playthrough of it now, but I'm not convinced 100% that it's going to work long-term. Let's find out. Today, this will be a stream where we see, do people still show up, engage, and support with Hollow Knight, even though it's an old game. I even got we got the podcast theme for it. I got the lighting for it. I got everything ready. I am ready for Silksong today. Excuse me, I'm ready for Hollow Knight today. So I hope that you guys will stick around after the show to hang out with me and watch me play it. Okay? So that is the first stream. The late stream tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific time is a dual purpose stream. Purpose number one, finish this Lego build. We're going to do this together, and all we got left to build is Mario and put him on there. That's easy. We've already completed 280 steps out of the 350 so that are in the build. So with only around 60 so steps left, it's probably going to take about an hour, and then we're done. The thing is, this is an easier build because there's no moving parts or anything with Mario. It's just the one solid thing, and then we stick it on. So I think we're going to be done within about an hour. And then we're going to have an extra hour to kind of hang out. So we'll do a Chill with Phil, a little hour mini stream. And hopefully people will come hang out with me tonight and have a good time. And that'll be our first day of the week. Now, this week is a big variety of stuff. Tomorrow, Street Fighter 6 as the daytime stream. Yes, more Sagat. What my goal is to get good enough with Sagat now that I can take him into ranked and do his ranked placement matches. But I'm not doing that off the bat. Obviously, not having played Street Fighter 6 in many days, I'm going to have to get warmed up and everything. So tomorrow will be that, warming up and getting back into the swing of things and stuff like that. And then if we feel good enough about it, doing his ranked placements, okay? Tomorrow night is RimWorld. Now you might say, How is that going to go? Because last time you played RimWorld, it didn't do so good. You're right. You know, RimWorld now, we've played over 16 hours. We played it all January. And for the record, I really like RimWorld. I think it's a great game. But I think we've gotten to the point where now the appeal of seeing Phil play it because it was a new thing has worn out and that crowd is gone. We do have a crowd of people who do like it a lot and show up to hang out. But last time it was a lot less viewers and a lot less support. We're going to see if RimWorld still works tomorrow night. If we can reinvigorate it and maybe get a few more viewers and more support, then I'll keep it in the rotation. If not, if it looks like it's really slowed down, then maybe that'll be the final stream. I guess we'll have to see. So we'll see then. Then, of course, Monday, we are going to be doing a major stream of Call of Duty. And you might say, what? Call of Duty Black Ops 7? Yeah, I want to bring it back because people keep from time to time asking for it. And I'm like, listen, I like Call of Duty. I don't love it this year. I do think it's one of the worst ones in recent memory. But I want to give it a shot again. I have the equipment. I have the setup to play it well. And I was doing well playing it. But people were just not really enjoying it as much. I want to give it another shot on Monday as a one-off stream. Here's the thing. If we play it occasionally, maybe it can work as an every once in a while game that we just toss in for variety. If it flops huge, then I'm probably not playing it again. Just being honest. But hopefully people will show up for Call of Duty on Monday, okay? Then on Monday night, we're going to be doing an awesome variety stream. What it's going to be is Indies Night. First thing I'd like to do is try to finish up that game Sharks and Minnows, which we started last week. Very unique game with puzzles and horror and a lot of aquatic life trying to kill you. Yes, I got killed by a shrimp, if you can believe it. So I want to try to see if we can get further in and maybe finish that game. And then after that, we'll maybe do some more Terminator 2D Dark Fate. Did you know that Terminator 2D did very well with the on-demand views? It actually got more views than most of everything I'm playing right now. I think the only thing that did better was Street Fighter. But outside of that, it beat the views of like every other game that I played last week. So why not do a little bit more of that, right? So that's going to be Monday night. Now, basically, Tuesday, Wednesday will be kind of a repeat where it'll be Hollow Knight and maybe some more like chill stuff. And then Wednesday will probably be more Street Fighter and then probably more indies. Thursday, we finally have a new game. On Thursday, it is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. And 100% I'm going to play it, but I'm not committing to doing a full playthrough. I want to buy it. I want to try it. Okay? I really want to play this game. I love Dragon Quest. Now I haven't played a Dragon Quest game in many years, and I would absolutely love to play this game with all of you. But I need people to actually come by, hang out, and support this playthrough. I know it's turn-based. I know it's Japanese style. It looks like Akira Toriyama art, right? And some people are, like, deathly afraid of this. Like, they see that, and they freak out. They scream like they're in a horror movie, like, ah! Like this. They go, ah! Ah! Like, they just can't stand it. For some reason. I don't know why. I love RPGs, and particularly JRPGs. But some people just, they go crazy. They cannot stand it when that's in my content, and they swear they're not coming by until I'm done playing that game, or I'm not streaming that game. They come by for every stream but that, right? Well, let's see how it goes. On Thursday, I'm going to give it a shot, and we'll see if people will show up for it, okay? And then Friday is the big day. Friday is my marathon. What are we calling it? I still don't know. Is it the Super Bowl marathon? Is it a Valentine's marathon? Is it just a whatever marathon? Maybe we'll just call it the DSP marathon for February. I don't know. But here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be wearing football jerseys all day long, and we're going to have Seattle Seahawks colors in the studio here. We're going to have food. We're going to have booze. I have a ton of booze now. I have all those cut waters from months ago. I haven't drank anymore. So we still have all those cut waters to drink. I actually got 2 mixer drinks. I got a whiskey sour, and I got another kind too. I can't remember what it's called. I think maybe an old fashioned. So I'm going to have 2 kinds of whiskey drinks to just sip on over ice all day. I'm going to have these I keep saying cutthroats. Cut waters is what I meant to say. So we're going to have lots of drinks and a variety of games. I think what we're going to do, very simply put, we're just going to sit down and say, what games do you guys want? And we're going to nominate some games and do polls and just all day play random games. It might be games that I already own and you want to see me play more of and do multiplayer of. It could be games that I've never played before, right? Games that you just nominate. I just want to do a day of casual gaming with all of you rather than it being set segments of certain games and streams. I just want to hang out and have a good time with games and who knows, handling it that way, maybe we'll find some hidden gems that are actually quite good that we'll eventually want to play as full playthroughs, okay? So I'm here today all the way through the week through Friday. Saturday of next week is my day off, so I've got a lot of streaming to do for this first week of February, and I hope that you guys are here for it and excited for it, okay? So good stuff, and I hope that you guys are pumped and excited for the coming week. I am, and I'm ready to chill, all right? I am. Very good stuff, right? So let's go. Thank you for being here, everyone who's here early. Hopefully we build up some more attendance, because right now we have less than 200 on the YouTube side, and I hope that we get more for Hollow Knight. Like, I hope that we get a good crowd for Hollow Knight today. I don't want this to be the dead playthrough, obviously, but, you know, I'm trying a lot of different things right now, right? We're trying different indie games. We're trying Hollow Knight. We're trying Street Fighter. So we're balancing, and we're adjusting, and, you know, I think overall January was a great month. Really, I do. And I hope that you guys liked January as well. And I'm excited for February, because on February, we're going to have new games. Unlike last month, where basically it was me juggling all kinds of indie stuff. We actually have a good amount of new games that will be coming out. Where's my game release schedule? What's going on? Princess Luna with a $10 super chat. Here it is. I was looking for the game release schedule and I found it. So the month of February, we'll have many games, including Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Crizzle, which is a new first-person horror game that looks pretty unique. There's a game called Mugenics that we may be playing. Mario Tennis Fever, which I'm on the fence about playing. Yakuza 3 Kiwami, which I'm on the fence about playing. The Virtual Boy. I'm excited about this, folks. I have an update. I was able to order the Virtual Boy. It's coming. I actually ordered it with overnight shipping, so I'm going to have the Virtual Boy as soon as possible. Nintendo's going to ship it on release day, and I'm going to get it probably the next day. It's the quickest anyone can get it, so we're going to have Virtual Boy fun this month, where I'm going to be playing all the different launch Virtual Boy titles. Have the unit. It'll be right here, and I'll be playing it picture-in-picture. You'll see this stupid thing on my head while we're playing the Virtual Boy games, okay? I'm sure I'm going to get a horrible headache, because the thing is a piece of garbage and always was, but I think it's going to be pretty funny. So that's going to be middle of the month. Near the end of the month, we got Styx Blades of Greed and Resident Evil Requiem. So we got a possibility of up to like 7 new games and the Virtual Boy. But, you know, depending on how things go, we'll also jump into new games as they release during the course of the month. For example, there was a game that came out I didn't know about. I forget what it's called, but it's a game about mountain climbing, rock climbing. And apparently a lot of people reviewed it really well. And for like a day there, I think it was like Thursday when I was off, it was popular, and then all of a sudden it fell off and no one's really talking about it anymore. It tends to happen with these games. But if any of these days a random game just drops out of nowhere and people want to check it out, I'm down for that. I'm down to check out new content and new games, whatever. You know, to be honest, if we were here on Thursday, I probably would have tried that game. But I guess we'll see. Okay, cool. All right. Princess Luna with a $10 super chat says, "Good morning, King. Sounds like good things are coming this week." I agree. I think that this week is going to be a great way to start the month. Exciting stuff. You know, it's always good when you got new games and marathons and exciting things. We would have had the marathon last week, but I wanted to change the timing of the marathons because in just a couple of months, it's my birthday, and I always annually do a birthday marathon. And so because of that, I needed to push the timing of the marathon to be a little later. And so that's why the marathon's at the end of this week rather than last week when it normally would have been, okay? But good stuff. Thank you so much, Luna, for a $10 super chat this morning. Okay, so I had 2 days off, and it was an interesting couple of days. The first day, my wife and I said we just want to go out and do stuff like all day long. Like we just want to be out of the house, out and about on the town, spending time together, but not inside the house. We're in the house so much, we just want to get out. So we did. Like, we were out eating and getting haircuts and shopping and doing so many different things. I ended up getting some new clothes. I'm actually wearing a new shirt today. And we were looking at some various different things. One of the things that we're looking at, which we've talked about recently, is like an exercise machine for at home. You know, right now, when I workouts, I've only been using free weight dumbbells. And it's official, I've now maxed them. Like, I now have put on the final plates, and they can't increase anymore from where they are. So basically, where I am in my workouts right now is the limit of what I can do unless I do an insane amount of reps. Like, I can't increase the weight anymore. So it's like, do I buy another set of dumbbells that have more weight capacity? Because they do have them. They're just way expensive at this point to go any higher than the weight I'm using. Or do I get more serious? And so we're debating going out there and getting like an actual weight machine to work out at home, because those you can definitely have way more weight. And the easy thing about a weight machine is that you could easily go between exercises and just simply change the weights on the fly, and it's not a pain in the butt to do, and it doesn't make noise. It's just, just a pin. You just move it around, and you can easily change the weights on the thing. So, I could be doing one set of weights for curls and immediately change it out, and now I'm doing my triceps, and it's a different weight, and then I do the bench press, and it's way more. That's my problem right now, is when I do a workout, I don't want to have to keep changing the weights around. So I kind of do the same weights for every exercise. It doesn't really work. You hit limits, right? So if you have a weight machine, you could do that. And of course, if you have a weight machine, you could do way, way more with it. You could do all these new exercises. So we went actually to a outdoor or a sporting goods store. There you go. A sporting goods store. And the thing is, there's almost none in our area anymore. There used to be like all these competitive companies. Most of them are gone. I don't know what happened. I guess people just don't like going outside anymore. So they have no need for sporting goods. I don't know. So we went to the one sporting goods store in my area, and they had a weight machine there. And we were looking at it like, this isn't not bad. And in reality, I'd already been looking at some of them on Amazon. And the ones on Amazon actually were more expensive and a step up from the one that they actually had physically in the store. And I was looking at the one in the store. I was like, I kind of like this. So if I get one off of Amazon, it's even better than this, has even more exercises or easier exercises, They all have different ways that they do them. Some of them have the, like, hand straps, but you put it on your foot to do an exercise. Like, I don't want to really do that. I would want one that either has, like, a pedal or something that you can pull or push, that you're not putting straps on your feet. So, there's things to look at, but they look pretty good these days, like way better than back in the day what they used to be. They're all nicely padded and easy. You could just transition between the exercises, and they have, the bar doesn't dangle. You could store it on top and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. So we're debating, actually, what we're doing this week is we're cleaning the house. We have a couple of rooms that basically have been cleaned out of junk, clutter, and we have space now to work with. And we're debating, what do we want to do with these various rooms? And I think one of the things we're seriously going to do is get a workout machine. And that way we can both have much better workout at home, without having to worry about these free weight dumbbells. The other thing is, this is the truth, those workout machines are just so less risky. Like, when you're working with free weights, dude, if your arm gives out, you could drop on your head, your chest. You could twist your whole arm and pop it out of the socket. It's awful. You tear your muscle. When you're using those weight machines, it's literally just a pulley. So, oh no, I can't do another rep. Release. And don't get hit in the face, right? You're good. No big deal. No real risk there. You can work them out for yourself. You're not worried about, personal injury. So the fact that I just maxed my dumbbells. I still have to work through them and do more reps and everything, but that's it. I have no more weight to put on them. And the fact that, now we have the space for it, it's probably what we're going to do next. So just something, people always ask me about my health and my workouts and stuff. So that's where we're at, basically, with that. Probably the next big thing around here. Outside of that, like I said, we did a lot of shopping. We had a good dinner of Caribbean-style food. We each had a jerk chicken dinner, which is like half of a chicken that's like slow roasted with jerk seasoning on it, with some plantains and rice and all kinds of stuff. Delicious. Really great dinner. And basically just had a good day out. I mean, we left the house around like noonish, and we didn't get back till almost like 9 p.m. So we were out for like 9 straight hours just doing stuff. And that's rare for us. I work so much that we usually don't go out and spend that much time out on a day. And we did. We had a nice day out. It was a good day, too. We got home. We were pooped. We watched some TV, relaxed. And it was a good time. Yesterday was our just day to chill. But I had a bunch of errands to run, too. So basically, I was out and about doing grocery shopping and stuff like that. I had to change out. Jasper Kitty has 2 water fountains in the house, and we have to change them out every couple of weeks. You scrub them thoroughly down. You change the filters out. And I had to do all that kind of busy work stuff. Was yesterday. Well, my wife and I actually had a nice bottle of wine together. That was nice. We didn't finish the whole bottle. We each had a glass of wine. But it was a nice red wine, tasty. We've actually started having wine, not frequently. Like every couple of weeks, we'll have like a glass of wine together. And we actually like it a lot. something nice to have, a little light snack or something like that. So we had a real good bottle of red wine. It was pretty tasty, pretty good. Very strong fruit. So good stuff. Yeah. So in general, it was just a good couple of days away. I really needed it because I hadn't had any real time off since Christmas. And to be honest, even though I had those 2 days off around Christmas, because it was the Christmas holiday and everything, you know, there's a lot of baking or not baking, but cooking and stuff. And it wasn't necessarily as relaxing. In this case, it was 2 days off, where one day was just spending time with my wife, which was very nice. And the other day, yeah, I had to run errands, but still had some good times together. And it was pretty good. Okay? So good stuff. Anyway. Yeah, I had a great couple of days away. I hope that you all had a good couple of days away as well. I kept an eye on the content, and I saw that, number one, people did watch my Game of the Year awards, just not a lot. So, for example, I did my disappointing games countdown a few weeks ago. As of today, I think that has like 3,400 views, something like that. Okay? My Game of the Year awards, which I did on Wednesday morning, has about 1,300 views. So, do you see my point about I just don't think that people care that much anymore? You know, when I was someone who was an on-demand content creator, right? And I edited videos and all of that jazz, people cared. They wanted to know, what's my game of the year and what are your most disappointing games? Now I'm a live streamer. I'm a full-time live streamer, and I think more people would just rather have me do a normal stream and chill with them than sit here and do elaborate countdowns for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, no one is coming to see curated, edited content on my channel. They're just not. And if you're a fan of mine and you watch the streams, you already know what my favorite games of last year were. Like, honestly, any of you who've been around, did you learn a single new thing about what games I liked or disliked when you watch those countdowns? No. And the thing is, they take a while to do. I got to plan it out. I got to actually think about all the different playthroughs I've done and rank. Then I got to put the videos together and set it all up. And then I got to take the time on stream to do it rather than doing what I usually do. And to be honest, I just don't think it's worth it anymore. I don't think that a single person came by in addition to watch those streams. The Disappointing Games Countdown stream flopped completely. Okay? And guess what? The other stream, which was the Game of the Year Awards, also didn't do as good as a normal stream. I'm serious. That was the stream that I paired with the Lego build, and the Lego build underperformed. So both streams that I did those year-end series did poorly. So it doesn't really give me incentive to really do them anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it may just be a simple conversation on a show rather than playing clips and doing all this. We literally, all right, just basically say, hey, let's just talk about what the best and worst games of last year were and why, and just have the conversation on a podcast. And that's it. That's how I handle it. No more dedicated giant stream time, playing the clips behind me and all that, because no one cares. You know, and that's what I was trying to tell you guys. Like, yeah, it's a legacy thing. I get it. But it's kind of like, just like when I used to keep doing Ask the King, despite the fact that I was answering questions every single stream. Why am I doing a Q&A show? Because it was a legacy thing and people wanted to keep it around. And I think that the year-end series are just that. They're a legacy thing that at one point it made sense to keep it in the rotation. But what's the point? If no one's watching it and more people are showing up to a regular stream to engage and support with that content, why am I spending time on the year-end stuff? I don't see the point, okay? Unless someone can convince me otherwise, but I mean, it speaks for itself. Here, I'm going to look for it right now. Most disappointing games of 2025 countdown, 3,400 views. Over 3 weeks ago. Hour and a half dedicated video, 3,500 views. That's it, right? So, and Game of the Year awards from the other day, 1,300 views. So, to be honest, look at all the videos that I put out, right? My latest Street Fighter video got over 1,000 views. It's just an hour of Street Fighter. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, look, the 11-minute video that I put out to say that Highguard is not worth playing got over 1,500 views in 4 days. The RimWorld video where the thumbnail is me giving a thumbs up has 1,000 views. a podcast from a week ago where I thanked all of you for having 2 months without needing to have goals anymore for financial contributions and being successful and just saying, hey, thanks, that has 1,600 views. So a simple podcast episode has more views than my Game of the Year awards, a standard podcast. Do you see? So I think this is making sense. I hope it is making sense to you. Now, listen, if you disagree, I'd like to know why, and I'd like you to share your thoughts. But the way I'm seeing it, I just don't see the point in the year-end series anymore. I think that maybe what we'll do, and this is the truth, if we just at the end of the year, let's say last week of December, right? Maybe last stream of 2026 this year, the very last stream, I say, okay, since it's the last stream of 2026, on the podcast today, we're just going to talk about what my favorite games of the year were and the disappointing games of the year, and that's it. And I don't even play clips. We just talk about the games quick, and then it's done, and then we move on, and it's not lingering, and people aren't asking me for it, and I'm not spending entire streams doing it, and then the streams flop. Okay? I do think that we need to do it that way from now on. Again, if you disagree, let me know. I want to know why, but it sure doesn't look like it was worth it this year. For the, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm glad that it's done, and now we can move on for the rest of the year, right? Not have to worry about dwelling about 2025 again. So, okay. Liquid Dave did a $10 super chat. He says, nice to see you on stream again. I'm a fan of videos about you. Videos about me. So not my videos, but videos about me. That's interesting. What are you most proud about? Gee, let's see. What am I most proud of? I would say I'm proud that for 17 years, I put out a body of work that at any moment you could jump into my previous work, watch it, and it's just as fun, entertaining, and pertinent as the day that it was made. It's kind of like almost timeless content, as opposed to many content creators out there who they put out content, but it's very timely for the time. But if you watch it later, it's not even pertinent. You know what I mean? Because I did video game playthroughs with live commentary. You could watch the Heavy Rain playthrough in 2010 when I made it, 2015 when the remake came out, 2020 when it was the 10-year anniversary, or today, and it's still going to be just as entertaining as when it was a brand new playthrough. It's that simple. And I'm proud that I am successful without having to step on and hurt other people to do it, because there are so many creators out there that either became shills and sellouts, which was incredibly disrespectful to their audiences by just becoming a walking advertisement, or people who literally make harmful drama, defamatory content and step on others. A good day for them is a day when someone else is having a bad day. That's not content that I want to be involved in. And I found a way to be successful that didn't take either of those easy paths, but instead I did the hard way, but I did it, and I'm successful, and I'm happy, and everything's going well. So I'm proud of that. I would say that's two things I'm incredibly proud of. Content that will last forever, that people can watch whenever they want, and it's pertinent no matter when you watch it, and the content isn't harmful in any way. There you go. So thanks for $10. Okay. All right. So good stuff. So anyway, those were my days off, and they were fun. And I'm looking forward to this week. I really am. I have one news story to talk about today. Just one. And then we can actually get to like Q&A and chill for the rest of the show and see what you guys want to talk about. All right. So the one news story for today is pretty interesting. So last week, obviously, we were all talking about Highguard, because Highguard released on Monday. It's a game from a bunch of game devs who previously worked on games like Titanfall 1 and 2 and Apex Legends, but they left that company to go on and do their own thing. So now they're running their own company called Wildlight Entertainment, and they made this game called Highguard. And it released on Monday, free to play, 3v3. Okay, hero shooter, but not really. What I mean by that is, even though it's a hero shooter, you're still picking up random weapons and stuff, and your combat is based off of the weapons you find and the armor you find, not your hero, which is a little weird. Also, it's not Battle Royale, and it's not Team Deathmatch. It's a base takeover game where you're basically rushing to get this thing called a shield breaker, and then one team has it, and they break the shield of the other team's fortress, then they knock down the walls and set bombs and try to blow up the base. It's a unique concept that on paper may sound better than it actually plays, because when you go to play the game, you realize, number one, nothing about this game is inspired whatsoever. It's all lifted from other games and basically just glued together with Elmer's glue and duct tape. It doesn't feel like its own game. It feels like a Frankenstein of other games that they just ripped off. Number 2, the game doesn't play very well. 3v3 is not enough people for the giant maps that the game is set on. And the gunplay has really bad hit detection and or delay, where you shoot people and it doesn't immediately take effect. It's like, well, how am I supposed to play this competitively then? You know what I'm saying? So, hold on one second. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. There we go. Got it. Okay. So, it's just not a very good game. The thing is, does the game run? Yes. Is it functional and does it have gameplay elements that work? Yeah. But when you play it, after you're done a couple hours, you realize there's no reason for this game to exist. None of the heroes are actually fun to play. The gameplay loop is okay for the first couple times you play it, then you get bored because there's nothing to it. Like, why does this game exist? And the answer is, it doesn't need to. It's a game made solely for money. It actually fills absolutely no gaps or demands or needs in the gaming landscape. We already have games that are just as good, if not better, than this game. So it doesn't need to exist at all. This is a bunch of game devs that worked on Apex Legends and said, hey, we want to make a game, but we don't really know what to do, so we're going to make a game that's kind of like Apex Legends, but just is a slightly different. It doesn't work. It's literally a game that exists for no reason and serves no purpose. So it's boring as hell. I called it Midgard instead of Highguard because it's just that. It's the ultimate mid game. And it stands as the huge example, the shining example of that games should not be made solely just to exist and make money, but games should be made for a cultural purpose, and this game serves no purpose, so it should not exist. Okay? That was my take anyway after playing it on launch day. And then I basically said, I'm done with this. I don't want to play it again. Well, the thing is, this game tanked. It started with over 100,000 players on day one. Then it went all the way down to like 90,000, 80,000, 50,000, 20,000. As of the other day, I think it had 13,000 players. That was it. So that's bad for a game that just launched and it's free to play. To go from over 100,000 players down to 13,000 in like 2 days, that is a kiss of death. All right. So, of course, all over the internet, everyone's making fun of Jeff Keighley because Jeff Keighley is the person who claimed to be a huge fan of this game and decided to advertise it on his Game Awards this year. Or last year, I guess. And he was the one who was pushing it on social media and telling everyone it's a great game. And so basically, the thing is failing miserably, right? To make matters even worse, the game is based on a optional spending formula, meaning the only way this game will ever make money is if people buy the mounts and the skins and things. But if the game is already dead within a few days, they're never going to make any money. This company literally will go out of business because they have no revenue model. All right. So that what the company decided to do was to listen to feedback. And they have been all over social media talking with the players about how can we improve? What is it that you want? What would make you come back and play more? And the people overwhelmingly answered, we want this to be more players. 3v3 is way too few. When you have a giant open world map, 3v3 doesn't work. Half the time you're searching for the opponents. The firefights are done too quickly, and then you have to search for the opponents again. It's boring. We want it to be bigger fights, more hectic, more players. That would make it a more interesting game. Okay? So they listened, and if you can believe it, yesterday, they launched 5v5 mode. Yes, they did. They launched a 5 versus 5 mode for the game, listening to the feedback. What they were hoping was that this would reinvigorate crowds of people to check the game out over this weekend. Because now it's the weekend. Remember, it came out on Monday. Undoubtedly, you're going to have less players until the first weekend should be the weekend when now everyone has time to play it, right? You're off from school and work. You can jump into this game for the first time. It's free to play. There's no reason to not try it, right? And now they have launched this 5v5 mode, which is what the players asked for. And to be frank and honest, I think that's a great thing that they were listening to feedback rather than just doing their own thing. They said, no, we want our game to be successful. We're going to listen to what people ask for, and we're going to give them what they want. And they have done that. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look and let's see the response to the company listening and adding the 5v5 mode. Are you ready for this? We're going to check it out live. Here we go. They lost players. Remember, I said earlier in the week they were around 13K? Look at this. So this was the first day. They peaked at 97K on Monday. Okay, that's when I was playing it. By Tuesday, they were down to around 40, 30. Okay. Wow, by the time Wednesday hit, they were about 20. Thursday, they were around 12. Wow, they were actually at one point down to only 4,000. So here's yesterday, and this is when they released the 5x5 mode. They actually were, look, they were at 4,192 at one point. And so, here we are Saturday. The peak today was 15,000. The lowest, it looks like we're around 6,000. And now, literally right now, midday Saturday, when it should be the busiest time that people would be playing this free-to-play game, they have 11,890 players. So sadly, I hate to say it, the 5x5 mode didn't work. And here's the truth. If you're going to have a game, that game is going to have a first impression the first time that someone plays it, okay? This game came out on Monday. They knew that. They were advertising it. They even did a digital event to launch it, right? If you were going to have a 5x5 mode, you should have had it on Monday. Or at the very least, what they're showing, if they launched a 5x5 mode that fast, then it should have been ready from the get-go or should have been an option. I almost feel like it was, okay? It already was an option, and they just didn't put it in the game, hoping that the 3v3 would be enough content. And then when people said, nah, this ain't it, we want 5x5, they quickly rushed it in and activated it. But basically, first impressions are everything. The vast majority of people who will ever play this game played it on Monday, and what they experienced were queues to get into the game, a game that was 3v3 and way too boring, uninspired slop. So they're never going to go back. It doesn't matter if they add 10x10, if they add more interesting heroes, if they add better game modes, if they add a million things that people want, they're basically never going to get a player base above around 10,000 players because the first impression is already out there, and there's no way that they can now fix that first impression. People already had it. So I hate to say it, it's not like I'm rooting for this game to fail. All right, at all. I'm not rooting for this game to fail. But the game itself, its core elements just aren't fun. So why would it ever succeed? And my question is, who actually owns and runs Wildlight Entertainment and was so up their own ass about their own game that they never asked anyone if the game was fun? Because all you had to do was get this game to someone who, plays games and have them play it for a couple of hours and say, what do you think? And they would have said, boring, mid. There's no one who's going to be excited besides maybe Jeff Keighley, who apparently doesn't play video games because he thinks it's like the best game ever made. I mean, the only way you could think that is if you don't play video games, and this is the first one you ever played. You'd be like, wow, it blew me away because I never played any of the games this game blatantly rips off. Ripping the heroes from Overwatch and Apex Legends, gameplay from Apex Legends, you know what I mean? Like, stuff that's all ripped and copy-pasted. So I'm happy that they're listening. Maybe they will actually get some fan base and a consistent player base. If they can have a game that runs consistently with 10,000 players that those players are spending, maybe they'll see a small amount of success. What do they call it? A modicum of success? My problem is their entire model, it's a free-to-play game, and their entire model was based on optional spending. If you only have 10,000 players to begin with, and now a small percentile of those will be optional spenders, the game is destined to fail. It can't actually succeed. So, it's a sad story, but I think that Highguard at this point, I don't think it has any hope. Not that I want it to fail. I'm just trying to, objectively analyze it, and this is what I'm seeing. That it's just, I don't see where the hope is that this game's ever going to be relevant, and that these game developers are going to make much money or any. I don't think they're even going to get their investment back, whatever they invested to make the game. I don't see how. With the optional spending model and only 10,000 players, I don't think so, man. So that's your update on Highguard. It sure ain't pretty and it sure ain't happy, right? But it's, hey, that's the industry. And that's what I've been saying is the gaming industry particularly is the most, I would say, profitable because it's bigger than movies, it's bigger than TV, but but at the same time, it's also the most cutthroat when you really think about it, because today, gamers are more savvy, and they know what they want, and if you don't give them what they want, they get frustrated, and then they revolt against you, and they turn you into a negative meme. And when you look at this game, you're like, well, it's free to play, that's great, but what does it offer? Well, literally nothing. It's something you've already done in a million other games better, so why are you going to ever play Highguard besides the fact that it's free? There's no appeal of this game, right? Who knows? Maybe they will find a way to turn it around. I don't know. But right now, what they're doing, it just ain't it. You know, you can add as many emojis as you want. The game is still mid, and no one cares about it besides 10,000 people who keep going back, and I guess maybe they'll get some money out of them. I don't know, but it ain't looking good. Borderlands fan, thank you for 17 months as a member here on the channel. Excited to watch you play Neo 3. Have a good one. I'm not into Neo 3. I've already stated this. So Neo 1, all right. I gave it a shot. Very difficult game at the time. It actually was one of the first ever Souls-likes that I had played. Mostly at that point, I had only played actual official FromSoft titles of that style. And that was one of the very first games that wasn't made by FromSoft, but I decided to play. And I played it all the way through, and it was very challenging, okay? Neo 2. I was like, well, since I played Neo 1, it'll be a shoo-in, let me play it. Neo 2 didn't do well. To be frank with you, it just didn't. There wasn't that much attention on it because I think, number one, it was a game that didn't really hold a candle to the official FromSoft titles. It was just okay. It was very formulaic. Particularly, I remember that. That as I was playing it, I found out the formula. And the formula was, you go into a fight, and you build up that rage meter thing. First, you had magic, right? Like magic abilities, special attacks. So you go and use all your magic meter, use all your special attacks. That builds up your rage meter. Then you transform into the rage demon. You do that. By the time you're done with that, now your other meter filled up. And basically, you would just keep going in this like rock, paper, scissors circle in order to beat everything in the game, including all the bosses. So once you kind of figured out that formula, the game was kind of trivialized. And honestly, I think that Neo 2 was much easier than Neo 1. And just wasn't that big of a deal. People didn't really like it in my content when I was streaming it. They kind of, after a few streams, didn't care. And I forced myself to finish it. But I particularly remember the final streams didn't do well at all. And people were just telling me to move on and do other stuff. So, keeping that in mind, all right, and the fact that I've already said that I really wanted to avoid playing Souls-likes. That if I was going to play a Souls game, I actually want to play a Souls game. Or a game from FromSoft. But what I would be more willing to do is take a game like Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 and do one of those complete transformation mods that are out there where you could turn the game completely into a different experience. It's not the same plot, it's not the same enemies, it's just a new game with the same game engine, but it's been redesigned by modders from the ground up. I honestly think that would be way more entertaining for me and you than me playing Neo 3. Okay? So that's my take, and I'm sorry, Borderlands fan, if you were under the impression that I was playing Neo 3 and it was a lock. I never said it was. In fact, every time someone's asked me about it, I say I'm not really that interested. So I think it's a skip for me. I just don't see the point. Unless there's outright overwhelming demand for it, and people were like, we want it. I can't believe that you're ignoring and not doing it or whatever. But I'm just not that interested in it. I don't think it's going to be very good. Honestly. Okay? Okay, so that's my take. Thank you for the ongoing support, everyone. Guys, let's go. Let's rally and get some support right now. Don't you want to see the new animations? Are you aware we've only seen one? We did get to see the $10 animation, but we got these other animations for, you know, super chats, for kicks, for you know, for the smaller contributions, and we have the new animation for $100. So let's go. Who wants to be the first $100-er to see the new animation? Come on now. I know you want it. Let's go. Who's going to spend $100 just to see an animation on a stream? Who's going to do it? Okay, but anyway, I digress. Now we've finished all the topics that I wanted to talk about today. We do have some extra time, so I will open up the chats to Q&A. I'll type in kick chat so you guys can tag me. And let's chill. Let's have a little bit of fun, open conversation here before we adjourn today's podcast and we get into Hollow Knight. Okay? What is on everyone's mind? Spoons0 says, play the Neo 3 demo, see how it does. I mean, we could. We actually have like a free night later this week to do whatever. I think it's, is it Thursday night? It was either Wednesday or Thursday night that I don't have anything like scheduled. And we could do something like that if we wanted to. Okay? Did I see Wings crash out yesterday? The only thing I heard a couple of things. First of all, I don't actively go to watch these videos, but people like will either send them to me or tell me. So first of all, someone says that Wings keeps talking about me in his videos, and it's always negatively now. Like people, oh, he's a narcissist and this and that. And literally everything he says is wrong. Like every single impression he has is all incorrect. He says like the dumbest stuff, like I'm poor, I don't have money and stuff. It's like, what is he talking about? He says I live paycheck to paycheck and I'm a raging alcoholic. None of this is true. He still talks about that I play WWE champions. No, I don't. I quit that ages ago. But he's, he says all this toxic stuff apparently about me. You know me, I don't talk about it. Unless you guys bring him up, I have absolutely no reason to talk about this man. Okay, I don't. Why do I even bring him up? He has nothing to do with me, right? But he keeps bringing me up for some bizarre reason. He takes the bait, I guess. And I guess what happened yesterday was he's trying to lose weight, so he cut himself off of soda. He's not drinking soda. He's drinking Crystal Light. To be honest, that's a good idea. Crystal Light is only a few calories, and it's like artificial sweetener as opposed to the pure sugar. Now, you might say, well, that's not good for you either. No, it's better for him than what he was doing. He was drinking gallons of soda a day. This guy was drinking big, large sodas all day. So the fact that he's not doing that anymore is immediately going to give him results. I think he claims he's lost weight already in like a week that he's done it or whatever. But apparently, yesterday, he freaked out on stream, and he screamed something about being thirsty, and he threw his controller, because I've seen the clip. He threw his controller into the background, and you can clearly hear it hit the wall. And he turns like this, and he's looking like he probably made a giant hole in his wall with how hard he threw it, because his face is just like, oh, shit, when he looks back like this at his wall. So he probably has a crater in his wall, and of course, he has the background removal, so you can't see the crater he made, but you could tell that's like a, oh, shit, what did I just do face. Now, apparently, he used to do this, like, all the time, like, throw his controller and stuff, but since he's been on his, like, antidepressants and stuff for years, he hasn't done it anymore. So this is like a return to form of the old Wings. He's been off his meds, apparently, and now he's trying to lose weight, and it's just, like, it's crushing the guy. So, here's the thing. All right? I feel for the guy. If he is really working hard to not drink this soda, which is the first step of him losing weight, and it's driving him nuts, and now he's trying to struggle to stream and make content, and the content's not doing well, I hear it. Like, I get it. I understand why he's frustrated. It just sucks that those moments are moments that get broadcast, right? Like that moment of him freaking out, getting so angry and throwing the controller. That's all you'll hear about, and everyone's going to clip that and highlight it, and that's what's going to be about on the internet. It's not going to be the story that he's actually off soda and he's losing weight and he's actually trying to do better for himself, which should be the story. The story is going to be he threw his controller in rage and he made a crater in his wall and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's just how the internet fucking works. It's terrible that that's how the internet works, but that's how it works. I've said it before and I'll say it again, okay? I don't wish the guy any ill will whatsoever. I don't actually think he's a horrible person or anything like that. I don't believe that. I think he's a guy that's just stuck in his ways. He's gotten to a point in his life where he's complacent, and that complacency sadly put him in a bad way with his work, with his health, with everything, okay? I want him to get better, but he has to work to get better. When he can't simply answer a DM about being on a podcast, when he can't talk to me on a stream, I mean, that's the minimum amount of effort to any kind of, like, crossover or thing that would get him attention, and he can't even do that. I mean, most of his streams are him playing Battlefield 6. No one wants to see him play Battlefield 6. That's why he has insanely poor attendance and low support on those streams. People want to see him do anything but play Battlefield 6, but that's all he wants to do. So he's going to fail. He has to have effort and creativity. He has to do something that's going to stand out that people will want to see. Sitting there playing Battlefield, being angry that he's not drinking soda and throwing his controller is what people want to see, just not the group of people he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's appeasing the wrong group of people, and ultimately that's not going to do him well at all. It's just not. you know? Would I forgive him if he apologized? There's not. Listen, I don't take offense. I want you to understand that. I don't. Like, I don't think that Wings not responding to me and blowing me off when he was supposed to be on my show was a personal insult. It wasn't. It's his laziness. It's ultimately, he says, oh, I'm antisocial, I'm depressed. No, you're just lazy. He's a lazy person who doesn't want to act on anything. He literally wants to sit and exist. So I'm not offended. He outright treats everyone like that. It's not like he went out of his way to just treat me like that. He treats everyone like that. So that's a problem. If he changes and he ever wants to come, hey, I'm actually going to act now and I'm going to respond like a professional and I want to, hey, I want to do something with Phil. I want to play a game with him or I want to be on his show or whatever. I would be open to that. But that's on him, not on me. I'm done wasting my time trying to contact the guy. He doesn't respond. So if he changes his mind and he wants to act for once instead of sit and exist, then I'm here. But that would be on him, not on me. You know, I can't make the guy act, right? You just saw Yoshi? Yes, this is Yoshi. He's done, but Mario is not done. Mario is what we're finishing on the late stream tonight, and I look forward to finishing the build and having it in my background for the entire month. It should look great. Oh, I'm being told, so when he said I'm thirsted or thirsty, it wasn't that he was talking about soda, that the term thirsted is a term about the game he's playing. What does it mean? He says he was being thirsted in Red Sector. What does that mean? Because I didn't even know that that was a term. No, I've not heard of a game called Escape from Ever After. No, I have not. It means you get finished when you're knocked down. Oh, so he got downed and then killed while he was down. Why the hell do they call it being thirsted? What? That's the weirdest fucking terms people come up with for this shit. Like, what? How about being finished or being executed or being killed off? Thirsted? That sounds like some stupid social media term about someone who's, you know, lusting over someone. Why does it call it thirsted in fucking Red Set? So dumb. Okay. What's up, Dungeon Keeper's Mistress? How you doing? Yes, yesterday, sadly, we did lose Catherine O'Hara, which is sad because no one knew that she was sick, I guess. Catherine O'Hara, lifelong actress. I mean, when I was a kid, she was in movies like Home Alone and stuff like that. Beetlejuice, okay? She's always in series. She was in the very popular comedy Schitt's Creek. Recently, I know she was in, like... She always does, like these cameo roles. She was in a season of... a series of unfortunate events on Netflix once. She was in... she was just in the new Beetlejuice movie. She reprised her role, you know? And it's sad because that's someone who is actively still working constantly, and she was in all these work. Everything she was in was good. Like, if you think back to all her roles, can you think of a single time that she was in a movie and like, man, she stunk? No, not one. She was always a good actress in everything she ever was in. Not to say that all the movies she was in were the best movies, but she was always a good actress in everything that she ever was in. So the fact that she passed away like that and no one was aware that she was sick is sad. Unless it was an accident, because no one knows, like, there was no cause of death released yet, and she was only in her 70s. So not to say that 70 is young, but in the modern era, to die when you're 70 usually is a little early, especially for someone like her, a lifelong actress working. It's not like she was in bad health or anything. So it is sad. It was sad and shocking. So thank you to Cyrax Groiper. 11 months as a sub over on Kick. Thanks so much. That's our first sub of the day, of the week. Can we get a gifted sub over on Kick? You guys get to see the new animation for subs. Just saying, if we get a gifted, hey, listen, I'll be happy to live to 71. So I hope I live to 71. Who knows? I mean, now at least I'm doing the right things with my diet and with exercise. So maybe I'll live a little longer, because a long time there I was doing the wrong things. So hopefully I'm doing the right stuff to be around for a long time. Thank you, Satan. Satan says, I'm glad you had a nice couple of days off. I appreciate that. Oh, come on. Someone says she died from a paint can to the face. So you think she was walking through a real-life set of Home Alone and a paint can hit her in the face and it killed her? I don't think so. I think that's pretty unlikely that that's what happened. Yeah, we got some deathcore playing in the background today. I'm using the exciting playlist here. Although, the stupid thing, it's having an issue with its connection, the music. It says, sign in, and I log all the information in, and then it just says wait, and it never stops waiting. So it is still working, like the music is playing and everything, but it just keeps, it has issues. I don't know what the issues are. If I restart it, it like goes away, but then it pops up again, but I'm logged in. So it's just dumb. It's having some kind of a weird authentication issue. But as you can hear, the music still plays. Really silly. I'm probably going to have to close it and open it again at the end of the podcast here. In fact, it's now frozen. That's great. Is it playing this song? It is. It's playing the song, but it's frozen on my screen. So I'll probably, if it doesn't log in properly, I'm probably going to have to restart it after the podcast ends here. Thank you to Buttfuck McAssface. What a name. He gifted a membership. Thank you for the gifted membership. I appreciate that. Our first membership of the week. Yes, this is not a stream about politics, so this is not going to be a place where you come and you hear me talking about the Epstein files and ICE issues. Yes, this is not... I'm not a political streamer. I'm a gamer. So we're going to come here, we're going to talk about games and chill vibes and stuff like that. This is... You're never going to hear me talking about that stuff, so... Who is my pick for the big game? I mean... Obviously, I got to go with the Seahawks, no? I'm going to try to close the Bridgecast here. Oh, wait. It's still working. Hold on. I told it to close all windows. It closed the authentication window, and it's still playing music. Whatever. But anyway, who's my pick for the big game? Obviously, I got to go with the Seahawks because that's my hometown team, but I don't know anything about them. I don't know a single player. I don't even know how they play. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen zero American football at all this season. So I don't know anything about the matchup. Will I be playing the rumored Black Flag remake? Maybe. Because, you know, Black Flag's a great game. It's one of my favorite Assassin's Creeds of all time. It would be pretty cool to do a second playthrough, I guess, if it's redone. Sure. Henry Epstein was banned off of Xbox Live in 2013. What do you think about that? I don't. I don't think about that. I don't care. What does it have to do with me? What are you insinuating? The Olympics begin in 6 days. What's my favorite Winter Olympic sport? Bobsledding. Cool runnings, man. My favorite movie, man. Cypress says, you're from Connecticut. They're a hometown team, and your hometown team would be the Patriots. Well, it was weird. So when I lived in Connecticut, I had my choice of hometown teams. Because think about this. I lived in the tri-state area. There is no official team for Connecticut. So New England Patriots, yes, technically they could have been my team. Or I could have been the New York Giants, or I could have been the New York Jets, right? Like any of those teams in that area technically could be your team if you live in Connecticut, but I never really rooted for any of those. Never really was like a big thing for me. I did watch football for a few years there. I actually was more into football with my friends, but I never really had a team per se. When I was younger, I always rooted for the New York teams, but I always rooted for the underdog. So I rooted for the Mets in baseball and the Jets in American football. And they were both the teams that always sucked. There you go. I don't watch pro wrestling. I have not watched a single bit of pro wrestling since WrestleMania of last year. I am not watching the Royal Rumble. I don't care. It's probably the thing I have the least actual care about on the planet right now is pro wrestling. I just don't give a shit. I got a question for everyone. All right. I almost made an impulse buy purchase, but I didn't. I saw that there's going to be a Magic the Gathering crossover, all right, with like Marvel Comics. And they're going to sell Marvel Magic cards. And they went on sale for pre-order, and I almost pre-ordered a box. And then I stopped myself because I was like, I don't know if anyone's going to care about this. Would anyone on my streams care about me buying this and opening packs of cards on stream? What do you guys think? Would you care about that? Would you want to see that? Would you want to see me do a stream of that? Or maybe as an incentive on a stream, opening packs or whatever? I don't know. Like, I feel like when we were doing the WWE cards last year, at first there was appeal for it. But then after we did it a couple times, it was like not that big of a deal anymore. Hence why I had all those packs left over. And we just opened them randomly on a stream one night because we just didn't have anything else to do. I was like, let's just do it, right? Pokemon cards? People are saying Pokemon cards, not Magic cards. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't do it then. Because at first I thought, oh, this is right up my alley. I like Marvel Comics. I know all about it. People have asked me to open up these kind of packs of things before. Like, remember, there was an incentive once to get the Final Fantasy VII ones. But by the time I found out they existed, I went to order them and they were already sold out. So in this case, like, it went live and I saw the link and I clicked on it. I could have pre-ordered it. I was like, oh, I could get it. But then I was like, I don't know if people are going to care. So I had self-control. And now the feedback I'm getting is no one would have cared. So I'm actually glad I didn't get them then. Well, if I ever see anything with Pokemon, I'll look at it then. Because people are saying maybe opening Pokemon packs would be interesting, but not Magic. That Magic isn't really my thing. I mean, you're right. I don't play Magic. I don't know anything about Magic. It would just simply be opening the cards and seeing what they look like and if there's any rares or anything in there. Like back in the day, I used to collect cards in the early 90s, and it was just collectible cards. They weren't card games. Like, I had the X-Men Series 1 and 2. I had Marvel Masterpieces, like Series 1, 2, and 3. I had certain ones from Marvel. I really liked the Marvel cards, particularly. Those are the ones I collected. You're not funny says you'll lose money in the long run. No, it's not about that, though. Like, for me, it's not an investment where I'm buying it with the hopes that potentially I'll get a rare card and I'll sell it. It's just something to do on stream. You see? It'd be like a hobbyist thing. Right now, we're trying different stuff. We're trying building Lego sets, right? This could be a different kind of a hobbyist thing to do on a stream. You know, open the packs of cards, see which ones I got, look at them together, put them in an album. Something different kind of content rather than just gaming and, this kind of stuff. No, Spoons, I never collected Pokemon cards. No, like I said, in the early 1990s, I had X-Men, Marvel Masterpieces, some movie cards, that kind of stuff. At one point, I did collect the baseball cards, and that was it. I never collected anything. Like, by the time Pokemon became prominent, I didn't collect anymore. I was done with that. So I never had those. Did I have any New Kids on the Block cards? No, but they existed. I remember. Back then, they had cards for everything. Like, I'm not even kidding. Every pop musician had cards. Every movie, every TV show had cards. Every action figure line had cards. The comics had cards. Everything had cards. So, yeah, there were New Kids on the Block cards, and they would come with a bubblegum piece. I'm serious. Theodore says he has Naruto training cards. Why don't we get the cards for the marathon? Oh, they wouldn't have them for the marathon anyway. This is a pre-order. Like, they're not coming out for months. But the thing is, these cards, I'm not even kidding you. These collectible cards these days are so popular and so in demand. You have to pre-order them months in advance, or else you can't even buy them. You have to pre-order them. How's the Silk Song callus doing? It's pretty much healed now. There's no callus on my thumb, luckily. And here's hoping that with Hollow Knight and with the new controller that I'm using, that this won't build up a callus for me, because I think the button is very much more responsive. It's not a hard button. It's like a soft click. So I don't think that I'll get a callus this time around. I hope. We'll have to see, but I'm hoping for the best. Okay. Okay, what else do you guys want to chat about? We got a few more minutes before we adjourn the show, and then we get ready for our gaming portion of today's first stream. Thank you for the early support today, everyone. I appreciate that. Like I said, for those who are just joining, because we've like doubled attendance since I started the show. So we have new animations this month. First of all, you can see the new backdrop that we have. We're going to have new animations on this frame for everything. So you're going to see all kinds of new animations over the course of February, which is really cool. We got the Lego build that's completing tonight on the late stream. So you'll see the full Super Mario World Lego build all month long. Okay. New animations for smaller contributions. So people who do super chats under $5, people who do smaller kicks under 500, and that kind of stuff. Also, gifted subs on Kick all have new animations that are either going to be Super Bowl related or Valentine's Day related. Okay. Then we have an animation, a brand new one for $10 contributions anywhere, whether that's a super chat, a tip, or 1,000 kicks. And then we have a new animation for $100, whether that be a super chat, a tip, 10,000 kicks. They're all a brand new animation as well. So all of those are for the month of February moving forward. This is a regular year, right? This is not leap year. It is not leap year. It's 28 days in February this year. Okay, I was just curious. I wonder when leap year is again. I feel like it's been a while since we had one. That's why I was wondering if it was this year. Corva says, Corvax says, I'm a competitive Pokemon card player. It would be entertaining to see you open cards or play the video game. Well, I just finished Pokemon Legends ZA. Over 60 hours of the main game in the DLC. We are going to try a Pokemon game next month. It's called Pokemon... Is it Poketopia? Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. It's called Poketopia, and I think it's a hybrid game that it has Pokemon and Pokemon elements, but it's combined with the gameplay of Animal Crossing. So it's kind of that style of game, and we are going to check that out. Excuse me, and see if that's any good. So, that will be the next, Pokemon content to come to the channel, probably. Am I doing anything special for Valentine's Day? Probably not. My wife and I have the day off because we have Saturdays off. But likely what we'll do is just order a really nice meal or go out to a really nice meal that day. But I thought that we'll go out the whole day. We just had a whole big day out and everything. But we usually plan like extra, like a nice 2 days off once a month. We'll probably end up doing it like late February and doing something then. So, but we'll see. Well, you know, we'll figure it out. It's in a couple of weeks. Oh, there's a Pokemon trading card video game? Oh. I didn't know that. That they actually have a trading card video game. That's interesting. I didn't know about that. Exactly. Probably that day we'll either go out or we'll order something that we really like for dinner. Like there's certain things that my wife and I wouldn't always get because they're too expensive or, you know, it's a rarity to go there. We'll probably see maybe that day we'll do something different. Would I play a Pokemon MMO if there was one, maybe? But there is none. What there is Pal World. We did play that. So Dabhand says, Pokemon cards are tough to get at the moment. The new set Ascended Heroes just released, but only packs of 3 could be got. They're all sold out. Booster boxes and stuff released next month. Get the new Tamagotchi game? Are you talking about the what is it, Tamagotchi Life or whatever? Yeah, I might get it. Seems like it could be a silly game where we get fantasy characters created in there and stuff. It could be pretty neat. There's a Pokemon MMO called Poke MMO. Well, then it's not real. That's not official. That's not Game Freak made and Nintendo sanctioned. Oh, really? There is a Pokemon... No, excuse me. All I want is a Mega Man Legends remake before I die. Probably not going to happen. Yeah, Mega Man Legends... You know, at one point it was pretty prominent. It fell off when they did the Battle Network series, because Battle Network got so popular on handhelds. That became the prominent focus of Mega Man for like over a decade. So it's like they completely forgot Legends existed, and then they went back to classic Mega Man. So it kind of went full circle back to the beginning, but Legends is kind of stuck in the middle there and really hasn't gotten any attention, right? I don't know what Habbo Hotel is, so I can't answer that. Tapian says there's TCG Pocket. It's actually an official Pokemon mobile game, and you can open stuff on there for free just by playing it. Well, the thing is, if it's free, it means you're not going to get the good stuff, right? The only people who are going to do good in that, they're going to have to pay to win. That's how all mobile games are, man. Pay to win. Or grind for 18 months to get one freebie. Yep. Marky, I never played the Battle Network series. I really don't know anything about it. I never experienced it. So I don't know if I would like it. I don't know if I played it, if it would work. I don't know. What do you guys... Did you guys ever play Battle Network? What did you guys think of Battle Network? My nights at the club from back in the day. Am I planning on doing the Yakuza Kiwami demo or not? Probably not the demo, but I gotta decide if I'm playing the game. You know? It's really like this month, there's 2 RPGs I want to play. I want to play Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, and I want to play Yakuza Kiwami 3. I don't know if anyone would show up and support either one. So it might just be a matter of just trying it and see if they work, and if they don't work, just don't keep playing them, right? Oh, no, I've been to the club. I just had no idea what I was doing dancing when I was in my 20s. It was very embarrassing. Could I do an Al Pacino impression from Scarface? Well, I don't have any cocaine around. Or powdered sugar, for that matter. So I don't think so. It wouldn't be a very good one. Is Kenshi in our future? Well, Kenshi was a nominee for a game to play during the Christmas marathon, and we didn't play it. But I could easily just say, hey, it's another one that possibly we could play during this week's marathon and see if we play it. That's up to you guys. Napoleon Dynamite Dance? The Napoleon Dynamite Dance was only popular on the internet. People in real life didn't know anything about that. If you said to them Napoleon Dynamite, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Because it was very different back then. You understand, today, the culturally relevant stuff, the memes and stuff on the internet, actually permeate real life. Like, there's complete and utter crossover between the two. Back then, there was not. In the 2000s, if you were a person who was into internet memes and you went and talked to someone in real life about it, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? They didn't know. No one knew what Napoleon Dynamite was at the time. That took a while to become culturally relevant through, like, word of mouth and hype and stuff like that. Then it became this big cult classic. But at launch, no one really knew the movie that well. It didn't... Oh, if a Cowboy fan, thank you for a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for showing the love with a $2 super chat. I'll shout that out in a second. But anyway, no one really knew about Napoleon Dynamite stuff and memes and stuff, unless they had, you were on the internet. Back then, like, memes were like on oddball websites, like you'rethemannowdog.com was a meme website where you would go and people would make these little animations from movies and things, and they would become memes that everyone on the internet would talk about, right? Like, remember the Lord of the Rings, potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew, potatoes, what's taters? That was an early internet meme. Or how about badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom, badger, badger, snake, it's a snake, oh. Remember those early memes? Yeah, but no one in real life knew what the fuck those were. Go to the grocery store and you say, hey, badger, badger, badger. People would be like, what the fuck? I'm calling the police. What's wrong with you? If you don't remember those, it's probably because you were too young. That was when I was in my 20s. Those were all the popular memes. So Ever Cowboy Fan did a $2 super chat and said, this is for Yakuza Kiwami 3. I hope you play it. What about Digimon? Nah, Digimon's pretty dead. I don't think we're doing that. But we're moving on to new stuff. And I would consider Yakuza Kiwami. For sure. Thank you for showing the love with that super chat, by the way. Appreciate that. All this talk of the past makes you feel old? Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't let me bring up ebombsworld.com. Oh, my God. Newgrounds. I mean, Newgrounds is still around today, is it not? But it was very, it was prominent back then, too. This was all pre-YouTube, by the way. This is all before YouTube was even prominent. That's what I mean. And that was just a different era of time. Oh, really? Alex says, I'm looking forward to you finishing the Mario Lego, so it's fully in the background. He has the same set, and it's one of his favorites. Me, too. And, of course, now that I've gotten this one, and I see how nice the build quality is, because to be honest, I didn't know it was going to look that good, and it looks beautiful in the background, does it not? It pops there. Of course, now I'm like, well, now I want more, but the thing is, I don't even know if this is going to do well. When I built it the other day, it didn't do well on stream, and now tonight, I don't know how the late stream is going to do. And this is what I mean, like, people are saying to me, will you get the $600 triple starter Pokemon Lego set? It's like, you guys didn't even show up and support this build. So how could I spend $600 and justify like 8 streams of building that? Like, it's it's not going to happen. It's not a matter of I can't get it. Of course, I could afford it right now, buy it. But it's not going to work for streams. So, no, I'm not going to get it, I've played, let's see. I played Yakuza 4, 5, 6. And, of course, I played Like a Dragon. And then I played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Okay? I also played a whole bunch of the spin-offs, including Dead Souls. I played the one where you're a samurai. Forgot what it was called. I played the one, what was it? The Man with No Name. Right? That one. I'm pretty sure I played a ton. I never played 1, 2, or 3. Those are the only 3, like, Yakuza games that I've never played. Oh, they do. You're Not Funny says, I can't believe Legos don't have a direct competitor. They're severely overpriced. They do. But the problem is they have the clout and they have the money, so they get all the licensing. So if you want a Lego set that's not just generic and you want something that actually ties into something official, you need to buy Legos. In fact, they just got Pokemon. Like that for years, they didn't have it. And there were the knockoff brands that were doing the Pokemon stuff. But now, Lego got the rights, so now all the Pokemon's going to be under Lego now. Like, right now, you can buy another brand and you could get a spaceship. Okay, big deal. Because with Lego, you can get all the stuff from Star Wars. So what are you going to get? You're going to get all the stuff from Star Wars, right? That's why Lego wins. They have all the clout and they have all the IPs. No plans to play other Yakuza games, older ones. Nope, just what's new. I got to play what's new and pertinent when it's new and pertinent. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, they have Star Trek. Yes, they do. I've seen it. I reacted to the Resident Evil 9 stuff. Fee Fi Fitty. There was a big react on my podcast last week, or was it the week before? When the day it came out, I reacted to it. So you can go check it out there on the podcast from that particular day. Just check out the playlist here on the channel. All right, I think we've had a good show. We chilled, we talked, we interacted, we had a bunch of topics. Got some early support, which I always appreciate. So I think it's time to wrap it up. So here's the deal, okay? There will not be a podcast tomorrow. Tomorrow we will do a DSP morning show, and then we're going to do Street Fighter tomorrow. So I'm excited to see how far I can get with Sagat tomorrow, play some more casual matches, get better, and then hopefully maybe even do some ranked. We'll see. The podcast will return when it's pertinent. And what I mean by that is I'm probably going to have a few. I'll probably have at least 3 podcasts this week. But when I do a podcast, I want to have actual segments and important things to talk about. One thing I forgot to talk about today is what we're going to do for DSP Tries It on Monday, because we actually have some options. Wendy's has new chicken tenders. Someone had mentioned me going to IHOP and actually buying like a meal, and it could either be breakfast for dinner or it could be like an entree that they do for dinner. And then we have Crumble Cookies was brought up to get the like one of the box of 6 cookies from Crumble Cookies and taste test those. So DSP Tries It could be interesting this week. We just got to figure out what we want to do. I think we'll talk about that tomorrow on the morning show. Okay? But outside of that, I'm not sure what other things and topics we'll tackle this week. for the podcast. So let's talk about it. Let's see. Maybe we'll have an official show 2 more times this week, and other days we'll do morning shows, and we'll go from there. Of course, we don't do anything during a marathon. During a marathon, it just starts and we hang out or whatever. We don't officially have like a podcast or a morning show. But we'll see. Let's talk about it tomorrow and go from there. All right, guys, thank you very much for a great start to the week and a great and chill Level 1 podcast. I hope that you enjoyed, and I certainly hope that you're going to stick around for Hollow Knight. If not, well, then I wish you the best. I hope you have a chill day. I'll see you when I see you, maybe for the Lego build tonight. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. See you soon.